All right, I am sick, so I'm adding a disclaimer that this could just be a really crappy episode. This could just be. So we're gonna see how this shit shakes out, and hopefully something goes okay. I've budgeted myself 2 hours tonight, but I'm forgiving myself if I can't last that long. So we'll see what we can get done. I also don't guarantee I'm going to be back tomorrow morning to continue with the Eberron artwork. I might just have to be just like crashed out because I am that sickness that I was taking on Friday. It ramped up over the weekend, and now it's just crushing me. So. Hey, my name's Phil Kearney. If you're familiar with my channel already, you can skip ahead like a minute, past all the preamble rambling, and we get into the meat of today's episode. We're making color magic subclasses for the wizard today. This is the rebuild. The 2024 rules for Dungeons and Dragons are proving to be apparently very popular in sales. So that means that there are people that are going to be looking for 2024 revised content. And the color mana system is it's only gotten better over the past 7 years that I've been using it since I first built it. I've ran through a full 1 to 20 level campaign using it, and multiple smaller vignette campaigns and adventures over the past years, and I've been adding to it slowly, and as it continues to grow, there's just options to make it better, and we've had Strixhaven and Theros come out, and I haven't really given those books any attention. We revised how many colors different spells can be devoted to make the mana pool a little bit more flexible and a little bit more a bit of a broader language for spells and effects that we can implement into the core book, so you don't have to look at multiple sources anymore. We have new cool ways to play with the Eldritch Knight and Arcane Trickster, which we'll be upgrading the Knights and Tricksters book with. And we are going to be we've been building the Spell Point Sorcerers here on channel, which will release as its own piece. We've been advancing the Spell Point Artificer, which will also be able to release as its own piece, and of course the Martial Power System, which we're going to begin playtesting in November. So if you're interested in that, you are most welcome to jump on board for playtesting if you would like to, starting at level 3, and just basically an old school Beckney style mega dungeon, going through, beat up monsters, take loot, get shit, go back in, go to the next level. Hey, the monsters are tougher down there. So the further down you go, the tougher the monsters get. I would plan to run from level 3 to 10 from November till potentially May, if that's how long it takes. And while we're going through that playtesting process, we have time here to continue building the color mana books and just to rebuild them while we're still working on the martial powers. And once all these other core books come out, we can then drop in martial powers at the end of all of that, probably like in maybe September of next year, like a year from now. So I'm hoping that by this time next year, I am hoping that all my color mana books will have been updated, have added artificers, added sorcerers, added martial powers, and then potentially even gotten some Spelljammer stuff done as well. So we're working on the Eberron adventure right now in our mornings, and off screen I'm working on the layouts and construction of the pages to drop the artwork into. So that is coming along, though me being sick is obviously derailing me a little bit over the weekend. Oh, okay. So just to wrap things up with a bow here, I'm on the X Twitter platform. So if you're on X Twitter, I am at Phil Kearney. I have here's the invitation to playtest. It's early sign up for people that are Patreon members. So if you want to guarantee a seat on one of the days that are available, then join for $1 and have a seat for the next 6 months of gaming with color mana in a mega dungeon with me. I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a Magic the Gathering enthusiast since late 95. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been creating content on the DMsGuild for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons supplement since 2017. So that's my quick little one sheet on my history of stuff. So I create games, I illustrate them, and then I publish them for people online to play. So that's what we're doing today. So yeah, you can jump on board with me on the X Twitter platform at Phil Kearney, here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications of when we are live in the future. And here is the document. This is the document that we're using today here. If you click into, this is my Patreon channel, so you can sign up while you're here. But if you click the Martial Powers button, it takes you to this document here. It's going to be read-only for you, but for me, I'll be editing this live today. And at the very, very bottom of the 145-page document, we're down here in the Wizard. Yesterday, on Friday, when we left off, we had converted the Wizard Scaffold for 2024. We updated it. We got it its class features current with the mana system that we already utilize, which we've talked about extensively for a number of years here. So if you don't know, ask me anything. So now we're rebuilding the subclasses. If you're interested in seeing this stuff, it's all free preview. So if you click on the DMsGuild button here at the very top of my description, it'll take you to my stack of books that I've made. It's all a bundled discount. It's like 35% off or something like that. But you can read all of them free preview. So if you like what you're reading and you find that you want to make use of it, and you want to support more books because there's more on the way, buy a book or buy all of them to show me how much you want me to keep building these books. And if you do, you get tokens and playmats and little like mana chips and like NPC tokens and all the different stuff that comes along with all this stuff is in the download document when you purchase. So, but if we go into the, let's go to the back as wizards at the end of the classes. So we had revisions to the classes, and we had originally had the idea of a white, blue, black, red, and green wizard because of the 5 colors of magic: white, blue, black, red, green. The 5 schools of magic. Hold on. For those that aren't indoctrinated yet, if you don't know the color magic system of Magic the Gathering, it's genius. Honestly, it has 5 aspects. Like the traditional Dungeons and Dragons has the 8 schools of magic. Those 8 schools are 8 different aspects of magic, but that's not the only kind of magic paradigm that exists inside of the fantasy genre. One of the like element, like the Avatar, Last Airbender, 4 element system, right? Iconic: air, earth, fire, and water. That's a 4 aspect magic system. Magic the Gathering uses a 5 color magic system. Its 5 aspects are white, blue, black, red, and green. So this free document, here, it's pay what you want, give me money if you want to, if you appreciate it. But this has all the Player's Handbook 2014 spells. We'll have to update this for the 2025, but this list will still be there. It has the white, blue, black, red, and green. All the different spells are defined by these colors. Obviously, cantrips don't require mana, so it has a 0 cost. But first level spell through 9th level spell, the level of spell, you spend mana equal to the level of the spell. So first level spell requires 1 mana. If the spell is white, you have to spend 1 point of white mana. If you want to just leave it narrative, just like Magic is, just like D&D is right now, there's 8 aspects of Magic, but the spell slot can be spent on any of them. It doesn't matter. The eight schools are just narrative, and you can have the Magic system be narrative as well. I'm going to spend this point of mana, and I say it's a white spell, and I cast it. There you go. So when you're looking at spells, you can take these as flavor descriptors, like a fireball. You can expect a fireball to like go down to 3 for Fireball. It's iconic. The iconic Fireball is a red spell. There's nothing more iconic in D&D than a red Fireball, and Magic the Gathering red Fireball used to be incredibly iconic as well. Red Lightning Bolt, 1 mana, Lightning Bolt, 1 mana or more, red Fireball. It's Magic the Gathering. Red is defined as lightning and fire. So when you're casting a Fireball, you use red mana. It's a 3rd level spell. It requires 3 mana. If you're just being narrative, you spend 3 points of mana, you say, yeah, I toss a red Fireball. There you go. Or if you want to be fancy, it's like if you're playing Azurius, it's like, yeah, I throw a white Fireball. You just describe it differently. Or you can make it a hard magic system, where each point of mana has to be devoted to the actual color that you're going to spend when you cast. So if I'm going to throw a Fireball, I have to spend 3 mana. 1 point of it has to be red. And if I run out of red mana, I can't cast Fireball anymore. There you go. So it's a hard magic system. So you can have different characters using it a different way. So each spell is devoted to a color, and if you don't have that color in your mana pool, you cannot cast those spells. You can research those spells, so that you can learn. You can put them in your magic book, or in your temple. This spell is read when it normally wouldn't be. You can also learn it twice. You can prepare a spell as it's supposed to be, its native colors, or and then on top of that, you relearn it in the color, like you refocus it to be the color that you need it to be for your mana pool. Like if you're playing Azorius, all you have is white and blue magic. If that's how you're, if you want to play hard nose with your magic, then an Azorius wizard is going to only have white and blue magic. If I want to throw a fireball, I have to learn it as a fireball and to learn it as probably white magic as a radiant. Like I depict it as being radiant. And if I had a like if I'm researching this spell while I'm at it, maybe I want to convert it to radiant damage while I'm at it. There I go. But I'd have to spend time researching the spell to change it permanently into that color for me. And while I'm at it, I can fiddle with the damage type to correspond with the color. Because all of these spells, a spell is that color because of like the general tags that exist inside of the game, like divinity and stuff like that, healing, protection, light. That's white magic. And while green is like healing, but like plants and nature and spirits and stuff. While black is entropy, fear, soul, darkness. So like there's this neat parallel between soul magic and divinity and spirits with green and white and black, and like healing. And healing is in both white and green traditionally, because this is off of thousands of Magic the Gathering cards. If you go through them, you see these common themes that move throughout the colors. So you can devote these different aspects of the magic, to define what a magic is. You can do that with earth and fire. You can like assign these different aspects to it. Like you can assign, like if you wanted, you could say that water, like in a four facet system, like air, earth, fire, water. You could say that, well, water is going to be like maybe cold damage because, cold water, ice, and stuff like that. But maybe like an illusion magic as well, because like mirages, for instance, that might actually just be air. Air would be mirages, so air would be illusions. So you're creating illusions by condensing the air into being something you could see. Like that would be a really good way of saying when you have a 4 elemental system, how do these different ideas inside of the game, these different mechanics, how do they operate inside of those different elements? Oh, it's so thick. So that's how the system works. And then there's the damage types. The 10 types of acid, 10 types of damage, acid, cold, fire, force, blah. Those fit into the different elements, the different colors, because of Magic the Gathering cards. Go look it up. This is pretty accurate. And so you take the damage and the effects of the card and like the different type of aspects of magic, and then you get your magic arrays. So like Chromatic Orb throws every type of damage, right? So you could cast Chromatic Orb with any color. Here you go. Sensibly, if I want to do force damage, I'd probably use white, black, or red mana, but I don't necessarily have to. I could use green and make it force if I wanted to, because the spell allows you to do that. Unless you wanted to be ultra hard-nosed and restrict yourself even further that way, but that's your choice. These different gears that you can shift between how hard or soft your magic system is a different style of play, where if like you think 5e is too easy, why don't you restrict yourself to hard magic? And when you run out of red, you don't have any more fireballs. What are you going to do about that? It's a way for a full caster to step down in power by restricting themselves, and then doing so, they make their characters so much deeper in narrative. Like you're literally operating inside of these magics, and you're making the world around you move to accommodate the type of magic you want to use. But you have to spend resources, time, and build connections to be able to do these things. So it roots your character more deeply into the campaign setting. Especially if you're using Ravnica or Strixhaven or Theros, or if you're homebrewing your own in like Ixalan or Ikoria or anything like that. So super fun. So that's me wrapping up on the rants. If you think this stuff is cool, all my books are free previews, so go check them out. And so, like I said, we are working on the wizard subclasses today, and so I'm going to pluck this document out, and let's go to the game rules for classes, and we're going to go down to the wizard for the 2024 rules. And so there's the Abjurer, there's the Diviner, there's the Evoker, and the Illusionist. See, those are wizard subtypes that are basically the 8. I'm sorry, not aspects, facets. The 8 facets of the Vancian magic system of abjuration, conjuration, transmutation, blah blah blah, all that stuff. The abjurist, the diviner for divination, abjurer for abjuration, the evoker for evocation, and the illusionist for the school of illusion. These are 4 of the 8 schools. So we are replacing, since we're replacing the 8 schools, we also have to replace those subclasses. And since there's only 5 of them, there's no sense of you just leaving one off. So let's add all 5 of them. So we have the tradition of white magic, we have the tradition of blue magic, we have the tradition of black magic, and they made it really easy on us this time in 2024 because they have this. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. An illusion of savant. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a thing. Okay, they all have 4 and a thing. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, we can do that. Words. We're taking these. We're taking pieces from these different subclasses here, and we're putting them into colors that feels right, like spell resistance, projected ward, arcane ward, white savant. That these are all white themed things. Spellbreaker is a blue theme, like with counterspell and stuff. It's very blue theme for Magic the Gathering. Red magic, the red savant, the empowered invocations, the sculpt spell. This should actually be level 3. So there are 2 level 3 features. There's the red savant, the savant, which is at 3rd level, pick any 2 spells from the wizard list, 1st or 2nd level, and add them to the spell book. For you, they are red. So like if it was a black spell, you can pick 2 spells and you put them in your spell book, and they are red spells for you. They could also be like green or black or whatever, but you can cast them with red. And whenever you research a spell to change its devotion to be red magic, because you're a red wizard, red savant, it's half the cost and half the time for you to be able to convert a spell to be red. And then in addition, whenever you gain access to a new level of spell in the class, you can add 1 additional wizard spell up to the max level of spell you can cast as a wizard to your spell book this way for free. So I should actually have this here. And this should actually be like this. There. That's how it should be structured. Like that. There. So we're going to be pilfering stuff. Moving things around. Let's see. Green savant. We got a lot of things we got to fill with the green. So obviously there's only 4 subclasses in the player's handbook, but there's 5 colors, right? Which means we have to find gaps. There's going to be gaps. We're going to have to fill them. So, which is awesome because all of the 2014 subclasses from Wizards of the Coast involving Wizard are open for us to take advantage of. They don't technically exist in 2024 yet. So we can steal features from them to drop into the colors that I want, which is awesome because if they end up republishing them and those features that we steal from those subclasses still exist when they republish them for 2024, when you look at our subclass options in the Color Mana book, oh, this is obviously a black class because we borrowed features from it to fill out the black. It's like, this obviously fits with the black motif. And then you can riff on it from there. It's like, do I want it to be black? Maybe if I want it to be green, how would I change the flavor of that? But when you steal a feature for something, it defaults and sort of automatically becomes that thing. So it's a really neat way to be able to add suggestions on how to have color diffuse throughout different mechanics inside of the game without having to specifically tell you what they're supposed to be. Because you can, narratively, you can find a way to explain anything to be any color that you want. but you want to have a common baseline so that you can appreciate the deviations. Like if you know fireball is supposed to be red, when you see a blue fireball that's crackling with like I don't know, like some sort of psychic maelstrom instead of fire, then like that's really interesting. Like this is a powerful character that has taken time to research their magic to bend it to be what this, like it's custom built to them. Like this is like a professional caster, right? They have molded magic to do what they needed to do to make their mana pool more efficient with the effects that they want. So you can actually kind of like see like the level of power that this character might have based on how they're wielding their magic. And since color magic is literally color, you can use that color as descriptive language when you're describing the red and blue energy that is like making little double helixes around itself as little crackling bolts of energy in his hand as he lights up this spell. When he hits you, you turn into a dog. You know, you can see the little fibers of these helixes go into your flesh, and it just makes your body bend as it rearranges your DNA. Like that's a fun little thing to do. Who knows? You know, and I should have actually said blue-green because that's a very Simic thing to do, messing with people's DNA. But I'm just riffing here, so, and I'm not my A game today. So hey, we're figuring stuff out. Arcane Ward is 6. No, that is Arcane Ward is 3rd. So let's go back to white, because the Arcane Ward is supposed to come on at 3rd, right? 3, 3, 6, 10, 14. Yeah, so this is supposed to be level 3. And this is supposed to be level 6. And there's space for a level 10. So we need to figure out a level 10 feature. We're gonna go steal one. We're sussing this stuff out. So we're gonna finish pilfering from the Illusionist and the Diviner. And when we finish then we're gonna go back into the 2014 books and start stealing there. And if we run out of stuff there, we'll start stealing from other books. We'll find somebody. Go Wild Press, who knows? Let's see. Actually, I might just go gang some magic cards and just build stuff. That'd be fun. Let's see. So I have a 10 there that I need. Let's go down to here. We're in Blue Savant. Blue Savant needs a level 3 and a level 6. Black Magic needs a level 3 and a level 6, a 10 and a 16. You got nothing, buddy. We'll go visit the Necromancer first. Powered evocations. Is this red? Yeah, good. Red. Then 6. We need a 10 for you. We'll find that. And then right. I know what I want to do for level 3 for the green. And it is Flock of Familiars. I'm going to convert the Flock of Familiars spell from Tower of the Mad Mage into a green class feature. Green is known for giant trompy stompy creatures, healing, and flooding the battlefield with minions. So white is also known for flooding your deck, flooding the ground with minions, and their big trompies are angels. So they're very soldiery, while green is swarmish, you know. So Flock of Familiars, spell being converted into a class feature is perfect. This allows you to maintain concentration, to have multiple familiars active at the same time, and you can distribute. You can only control one at a time, but you can issue orders to them as bonus actions. So just one at a time, and you can change your focus on like which one you're viewing through one at a time. it basically just allows you to stack a bunch of familiars up. And with the mana concentration system we have, it's 1 point of mana increases the concentration difficulty. So you can keep stacking up, and at 19th level you have 10. You could potentially have 10 familiars active at the same time to act as eyes everywhere. Like you are the master of crows, and all the fucking crows inside of all these murders, one of them is going to be your familiar. And as long as you can maintain concentration on 10 mana worth of crows flying around all day, then you're cool. But if all you're doing is sitting in your crow nest, in your throne of feathers, who knows what, I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you're your crow throne, then there's nothing, if you're just the wizard in a tower, no one's gonna be messing with your concentration. You're just gonna be left alone all day, so you can just maintain concentration and scour the world with your crows. So very Saruman-like, that guy didn't have any trouble from anyone anywhere until Gandalf showed up and started gut punching him with a staff. So it breaks your concentration. So that's what we're gonna do. Fucking familiars. Insert spell here. Insert spell here. Max 10 for 10 mana. What this does is you always have the find familiar spell prepared, and for 1 green mana you can cast it as a magic action without material components. Doing so requires concentration as a level 1 spell, because that's how they reworded it now, as a level 1 spell. I mean, you can cast it as a magic action. You can cast it without material components, and for 1 green mana, you can use the magic action to cast it without material components as a level 1 concentration spell. As a level 1 spell that requires concentration to cast it without material components as a first level spell that requires concentration. Doing so, there you go, period. You can upcast this spell, summoning 1 additional familiar for each point of mana. For each additional point of green mana. So now you have to die. So if you want to be able to do this, you have to have a lot of green mana in your mana pool that you're going to blow on however many. Let me finish this. You can upcast this spell, summoning 1 additional familiar for each additional point of green mana to a maximum of 10 when you reach 19th level. There. That is a fucking hardcore feature, man. If your characters are into reconnaissance, this is hardcore. Go ahead and let me break my arm, patting myself on the back about that one real quick here. There, fix that. We still have 6, 10, and 14 open. Let's walk away for that for a second. Let's go back to red. Good. Scope spell. Over channel. We cast a common magic spell. Common magic is level 1 to 5. High magic is 6+, and then epic magic is wish, 10th level. I'm expending only red mana. Whenever you cast a common magic spell by expending only red mana, you deal maximum damage. Once you have expended red mana equal to the maximum level spell you can cast, you can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. So at level 14, your max spell level is 7. So when you gain this ability at level 14, you can use 7. Like a fireball, for example, we talked about earlier, it requires 3 mana. But if you cast that spell only using red mana, it'll deal maximum damage. But at level 14, you only have 7 level spell, right? So that means you only have 7 mana, and that maximized fireball took 3 of it. So now you only have 4 mana left over for you to be able to throw another fireball with that 4th level, or like 4 burning hands if you want to throw your mana away that way, whatever. But that's how it works. So super fun. It's a different take on Overchannel, but mana has the flexibility to be able to do really cool mechanical stuff like that. It's literally got it has an additional level of depth of it has an additional level of mechanics. There's like that because color actually means something. And like if you're playing with a colorless mana system, like if you're just playing with like universal points, then it's like, yeah, this is my class. I'm a red specialist, so all my mana is we just consider it to be red. So whenever I throw a fireball, I'll be able to do maximum damage. Just assume that I have the red there, because it doesn't matter because because the system itself caps you at 7 mana, and whether it's going to be whether it's red or you change it to blue, or you can change this language. I can change that to fire magic. When we get into the 4 elemental system, we can just pull so much from the color magic system that already exists to reflavor into elemental magic. That will be something I will do as a Kickstarter on Drive Through RPG as its own system. Because obviously, I have enough content here for me to be able to build my own IP as an alternate 5e game using the sensibilities of mana and resource management that I have, and my desire to return to the Beckme Monsters Aren't Worth XP system of dungeon delving. And in the Dominion style of play with the Guild and Kingdom system that we have, so that you actually have something to scale your wealth up into. It's kind of exciting. So I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but it looks like this thing is coalescing into an alternate 5e game, D20 system. So be that, everyone has their own fucking system. But hey, I also have the D20 aspect system that I can use with this as well. So you can either do hard crunch or you can do light. That's actually really cool, because if I use 5e as my base chassis for deep combat mechanics, there's the deep mechanics, and then there is the lighter gear of just Beckme style action economy. So we'll actually be executing on the grand design that Mike Merles had referred to with 5e, being able to shift gears
between levels of complexity, what we've been brewing here for the past 7 years is leading us into that depth of complexity where we can work off of just ability checks. Everything is just an ongoing skill check challenge, whether it's combat, climbing, conversation, it's just skill checks. Or you dive into this deeper level of action economy of action, bonus action, reaction, movement each round that ticks off in 6-second increments. That's like a 4-wheel drive gear where you've got all of your wheels moving at the same time, while you can shift out of that into a lighter gear where you just have the ability checks to just you're just front wheel now. And then and when you go into social, you're basically a park because the engine's not going. It's just conversations, right? So I guess that's the analogy. But yeah, we're I guess as an exploration of 5e potential, we'll be delving into that space, and we'll probably just call it Armies, Guilds, and Kingdoms. So, GH, maybe Armies, Guilds, and Heroes. That's not a bad one. AGH. The castle. No, more in the back of the throat. There you go. That's it. Oh, yes. So let's keep trolling. We have. I think I can troll. Okay, so yeah, we're short a word effect here. I gave Spellbreaker to blue because Spellbreaker is much more of a blue idea than it is white in Magic the Gathering. So I stole that from the Abjurer, but otherwise the Abjurer is just the white wizard. It's just the same fucking thing. But I have to create a 10th level feature, so I have to think about that a little bit. But I think I can actually I think we'll be able to steal from Diviner and cap off how the blue wizard. There you go. So, let's see. Portent. Yeah. Definitely. I'm gonna rename it, but for now it's Portent. Is that right? Portent. That is a laundry list in structural order for the Eberron adventure that I'm working on in layouts right now. But here, is where we're at. Goes to the future of that. Whenever you finish a long rest, roll 2 d20s and record the numbers rolled. You can replace any d20 test made by you or a creature that you can see with one of these foretelling rolls. You must choose to do so before the roll, and you can replace a roll this way only once per turn. Each foretelling roll can be used only once. When you finish a long rest, you lose any unused foretelling rolls. Cool. Just ganking it. Let's go to list of blue cards, instant draw a card effect. Card draw cards. So we can call it one of these cards. Draw one sounds the most fun. Card draw refers to any spell that draws a card, period. Drawing a card is kind of like rolling a die in D&D. When you have advantage, you're basically like picking 2 cards and you're keeping one and you're putting the other one back into your deck. Which is like one of the most basic card draw mechanics. Like the most basic is draw a card.
Windfall. Echoes of Eons. Memory Deluge. Memory Deluge.
Oh, Jesus.
Memory Deluge is just the most blue of blue things. Memory. Yeah, that's not the right one for. It's not the right one. It's an iconic card, but it's not the right flavor. We'll change that. Thought Scour, Dress Down, Mystic Confluence, Consider. That's the one. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card in your hand.
Draw card.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of it. It doesn't feel right. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for, though, but that's not the right name. Draw 2 cards. Thoughtcast. Mystic Study. Gush. Time Spiral. Dig Through Time. Ponder. Consider. Look at the top 3 cards. Put them back anywhere you want. That's a... It's not a bad one.
Yeah, let's leave it as important.
Alright. Sad.
Let's go fetch it then.
Greater Portent.
Interesting.
James Anticipy. You can gain a new spend 1 blue mana. You can roll 3 dice instead of 2. You now roll 3 d20s for your portent feature rather than 2.
And you can expend 2 blue mana to regain expend 2 blue mana to regain a die. spend 2 blue mana to re-roll. Reroll any result.
Period. You now roll 3d20s for your potent feature within 2, and you can expend 2 blue mana to reroll any result.
That is actually very fair, because that's just gotcha gaming there with your mana pool. At 14th level, you're going to have 40 to 60, yeah, 60. You're going to have 60 mana at this level. So,
you only get 3 rolls. One above, you get stuck with the roll you have. This one, you get the 3 dice, and you can re-roll them as much as you want. Yeah, so now I just want to change the language in here to read as a result. And... Portent, Spellbreaker, good. And record the result. These results. I'm using the word results to not double tap. Let's see, you can replace any d20 test made by you or a creature that you can see with one of these results. You must choose to do so before the roll, and you can replace a roll in this way only once per turn. Each result can be used only once, and when you finish a long rest, you lose any unused results. You roll 3d20s rather than 2. And you can expend 2 mana to reroll any result. Bam, there you go. That's how the words on that works. Now we're still short a level 6 feature. So what did we get from Diviner in here? That was 14. This is 10. This is 6. Expert Divination. Casting divination spells comes so easily to you that it expends only a fraction of your spell casting effort. When you cast a divination spell using a level 2 plus spell slot, you regain 1 expended spell slot. The slot you regain must be of a level lower than the slot you expended and can't be higher. When you cast a divination spell using a level 2 plus spell slot, you regain 1 expended spell slot. The slot you regain must be of a level lower than the slot you expended. Oh, and it can't be higher than level 5. Gotcha. So once a day, a diviner gets a refund because the divination magic isn't combat focused. It's more narrative, exploration, DM ex machina. So they're trying to reward you for taking a non-combat character by giving you more mana to do your thing with, kind of like clerics with healing, get good weapons and damage, right? So they can run up to things and heal them in battle. It facilitates the ability. Makes sense. So let's
So this would be for blue spells in general. This is talking about divination. I'm thinking things through here. Hold on. I'm thinking of what can I do to give you free mana, and simple magic is a decent answer. Simple magic is like a cantrip, for instance. A cantrip might have like an effect, but if you want to maintain concentrate, Tensor's Floating Disc, for example, is a ritual that takes a while to cast. Identify takes a while to cast. Detect Magic takes a while to cast. You can cast it as a Feather Fall, as an action, as a reaction spell. But all of these spells, you could spend a point of mana on, and then maintain concentration on that point of mana. And while you're maintaining concentration on it, the spell is sustained. So you're just maintaining the spell. Like Tensor's Disc, you could spend like 10 minutes casting a ritual with it, and then it goes away after an hour. Or you can create it this instant, and it remains for however long you maintain concentration on. If you don't have 10 minutes, you absolutely have to fucking move this thing. You just turn on a point of mana, and you move the thing. And as long as you end the effect without having your concentration broken, if you choose to end it, you get your point of mana back. That's simple magic. Cantrips are like that. Any cantrip that you can concentrate on are like that. So, like, there's no end to it. As long as you want to maintain concentration, like prestidigitation or whatever. Yeah, cantrips are like that. Anyway, so this would be making. This would be making at. This is 6th level. At 6th level, this would be making 2nd level spells simple, in which you get your mana back as long as you don't lose your concentration. So let's go take a look at what 2nd level spells exist that are concentration, shan't we? Cool. Let's take a field trip to the big bad list of spells. Master spell list. This is, if you buy my books, you get this list. It's actually this spreadsheet. You can mess around with it as much as you want. You can see all the different subfiles here, like Strixhaven spells, Artificers, Bards, all Player's Handbook spells, all spells, all books. Now, the spells that were listed in the Player's Handbook as in the Player Pay What You Want book that we looked at earlier, and there's some that are card-inspired. So let's look at all spells across the board. And then we're going to look at the duration here, which is either concentration or instantaneous or perpetual. CIP. Concentration, turn it on, you keep the mana on. As long as your concentration isn't broken, the thing will last all day. The thing is that anytime you get hit with any kind of a saving throw, you have to weigh the result of your saving throw against the difficulty of your concentration. Your DC for your concentration is 10 plus the amount of mana you have tapped to maintain spells. If you have 10 mana tapped right now, the DC is 20 across the board for any saving throw that you have to make, whether it's your dump stat or your best stat. Whether you succeed or fail the saving throw, doesn't matter. You would have to hit a DC 20 on that check, or you lose all 10 mana of your spells. So you can be incredibly powerful if you can be incredibly safe. So otherwise you're going to burn through a shitload of action economy building those spells back up, and you might not have the time to do it depending on what made you lose concentration in the first place. So you can be incredibly powerful when death is not on the line. When death is on the line, you gotta guard your shit, or you're gonna lose your mana. It's pretty fun. It's a very fun way to humble the power of full casters, especially have like a bunch of area of effect kill effects going. The more powerful they make that effect, the more difficult it is for them to maintain it. The more fragile it becomes. And then the DM just naturally starts adding in cantrip-like weapon mastery effects that force characters to make saving throws occasionally. And you mix it up. You have one physical stat and you have one mental stat. Per encounter is ideal. And you switch it up. So you have like strength, dex, and con. You want to have a stack of things that can be that. And you have intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And then you have a stack of stuff that you want to have that be that. And then you just have a bunch of effects that you can feed into creatures that can just do these things. So this encounter is going to be dexterity and charisma. Those will be the two saving throws that the team is going to be making against. Next encounter could be dex and wisdom, and then strength and intelligence. And then maybe it's intelligence and charisma, or intelligence and dexterity this next time, or constitution and wisdom again. You can swap them around, and you can pair them up, and depending on what kind of a pairing that you make with, you can start creating themes around your creatures, so that you have, so you can have a, like the team knows what to expect. Like if they fight bullywugs, they know they're gonna have to mess around with their dexterity, and they're gonna have to mess around with their intelligence. So like, and then you find a flavor reason why that might be true. I have no idea what a bullywug would do to make you think you're going mad or stupid for talking to them. But I like that. So we're looking at blue effects that are below third level. Let's see what we got. Blue, Zone of Truth as a concentration effect. I'm fine with you being able to turn on and off Zone of Truth. That just makes sense to me. Warding Wind. I believe that just creates a wind shield. Let's take a look at that. This is fun. We were going to go through this exercise eventually. I just didn't know that's what we were going to do right now. So, hold on, folks. We're going to go for a ride. Warding. Because I have to rebuild this list anyway for 2024. It's the next thing on our list to do. After we get through the subclasses. Warding Wind does not exist in the 2024 book. Duly noted. So it's not a core book right now. Blows around you in 10-foot radius and moves with you, remaining centered on you when lasts for duration. While active, it deafens you and other creatures in its area. Extinguishes unprotected flames in its area. Hedges out vapor, gas, and fog, and disperses strong wind. Difficult terrain for creatures other than you. Attack rolls of ranged weapons have disadvantage if the attack passes in or out. Yeah, okay. I'm fine with that being something you can just turn on and off. Warding Bond, nope. Vortex Warp. Let's see. Oh, that's an instant effect. Fuck off. I'm passing up a bunch of blue stuff. Apparently I was staring at the wrong category. Come on, Curdy. Let's try that again. This is where I'm supposed to be at. There. Let's highlight that, son. Warding Wind, no problem. Suggestion as an on-off effect. Yeah, that's super bad. Cannot allow that. So that automatically just makes that no. Huh. I feel like that could be red. It's not really emotional. You're just telling somebody to do something, they do it. That is very blue. Mind magic like that's incredibly blue. Okay, so that just shattered that rule. So let's drop down to first level. Blue, concentrate, but you expend the spell. Okay, so Zephyr Strike. I know that's not in the player's handbook, but I don't. Maybe it is. Maybe it made the cut. Zephyr Strike. Huh, didn't make the cut. Okay. Well, let's look at it anyway. What does it do for you? Well, it increases your move speed? Move like the wind. Yeah, you don't provoke attack of opportunity. So while you're maintaining concentration on this, you don't provoke opportunity attacks. That's fucking cool. That's actually incredibly worth. And then you expend it, so when you end the effect, you get the extra damage, but that's what spins them in. I fucking love that. I love Zephyr Strike being something you can sustain. Oh my god, I love that. That's awesome. Unseen Servant, that just makes sense. Thunderous Smite. Yeah, I mean, you sustain it until it turns off. So if you hit somebody with it, if you never hit somebody with the Smite spell, basically what this says is that you get it back. It's not on the Wizards list, but, you know, here we are. That's cool. That's just floating disc. You know what? That's a really good point. We could just go to the wizard spells and just look at those. I just wanted to look at all the spells in general. Tasha's hideous laughter. Okay, this is a fun idea. Hold on. It needs a turn. Each time it takes damage, it makes another Wisdom saving throw. The target has advantage on the save, and the save is triggered by if the save is triggered by damage. Got it. So that's the second one, and lasting. On a successful save, the spell ends. You can target one additional creature for each spell slot level above 1. I'm okay with you being able to turn on and leave this on. It damages somebody, but the DM, you get advantage on your saving throw. And when the spell ends, you can't get your mana back anymore because you didn't choose to end the spell. You have to dismiss if you dismiss the spell. So if this spell ends by them making the save, the spell ends. That's not you dismissing it. That's them ending it. If you dismiss it on your turn, that's the language that we have to have. So I'm okay with Tasha's hideous laughter being something that can be simple mana. You can hit somebody with Tasha's laughter, and what does it do? The creature of your choice that you can see within range makes a Wisdom saving throw on a failed save. It has the prone and incapacitated condition for the duration. During that time, if you fail the saving throw, you lose the spell, and the mana is gone. If you hit the spell, you could turn it on and leave it on, and then turn it off. During this time, it laughs uncontrollably, and it's capable of laughter. If it's capable of laughter, and it can't end the prone condition on itself. At the end of each of its turns, and each time it takes damage. Oh, and each time it takes damage. It laughs uncontrollably and can't change from prone. On a failed save, it has the prone and incapacitated condition. Can take action, bonus action, or reaction. Yeesh. Fuck. Alright. That takes that away too. Okay, I can't just make that perpetual. This was a neat idea, but it's not going to pan out. So, I appreciate your service. Thank you. Thank you. I can see where we're at in here with divination, magic being divination, but blue is too wide. So, we're going to have to let that go, and we are in search of something. We're in search of something for here. Third eye. As a bonus action, choose one of the following benefits, which lasts until you start a short or long rest. You can't use this feature again until you finish a short or long rest. Choose one of the following benefits which lasts until you start a short or long rest. You can read any language. You gain dark vision. Huh. Very important. I like the let's go visit real quick. Let's look at B-Sense. You can perceive through the beast's senses as well as your own. When perceiving through the beast's senses, you benefit from any special senses it has. Right, well that's what you already get with familiar. Okay, I think we need to go back and I think we need to touch up on the language for the blue. Summoning 1 additional familiar for each additional point of green mana to a maximum of 10 when you reach 19th level. Each familiar is controlled separately as a bonus action, and you can see through one familiar at a time. You can command one familiar with a bonus action, and you can and you can see through one familiar at a time. That feels good. Yeah. And I just feel like I could dive, pardon the pun, I can dive deeper into like getting more abilities with the familiar at higher levels, but I don't want to just, pardon the pun, pigeonhole the character to be the familiar class, but it's a really fucking cool concept that I like. So let's see what the Illusionist brings for us, and if we can distribute any of that into these classes further. But the third eye, I don't see where the third eye is lining up with anything right now. It makes sense as a diviner. Like the theme of it could make sense for like say a green or maybe a blue. I'm not quite seeing it, so. Oh god. Ugh. Sinuses are just killing me. Let's look at the Illusionist. Here we go. And then we'll have to dip back into 2014. We'll see what's laying around out there for us. Improved illusions. You also know the Master Illusion cantrip. If you already know it, you learn a different wizard cantrip of your choice. The cantrip doesn't count towards the number of cantrips known. You can create both summons and blah 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 blah. No one cares. That's third. 6 phantasmal creatures. You always have the Summon Beast and Summon Fae spell prepared. Whenever you cast either spell, you can change its school to illusion, which causes the summoned creatures to appear spectral. You can cast the illusion version of each spell without expending a spell slot, but casting it without a slot halves the creature's hit points. Once you cast either spell without a spell slot, this fish. Oh, I really like that. That's very, very clever. So that's 6 levels. So we're gonna call that Summon Allies. You have the Summon Beast and Summon Fae spells prepared. Whenever you cast either spell. I think they italicized these, didn't they? You always have the Summon Beast and Summon Fae spells prepared. Whenever you cast either spell, let's go look at Summon Beast and Summon Fae. I love it. That's so fucking perfect. Nice. Them having Summon Beast and Summon Fae makes perfect sense. Let's look at them. Traits, hit points. Oh, we're going to go steal from Nature's Ally. Nature's Ally is one of the books that I published. I don't think I have it listed here. Maybe I should. But hold on real quick. Let's go. Let's go check that one out. Oh my god, that book is fucking perfect for this. Let's just do that. And then we'll drop down to other books that I've published. And then let's skim along the base here. There's other books that I've made here. There she is. Oh, that's the Fantasy Ground version. Ugh, whatever. Stupid Fantasy Grounds. Neat, neat, neat. Come on, buddy. Where are you at? There she is. Nature's Ally. Yeah, I'll post a link to this so you can take a look at it. Again, it's 100% free preview, so check it out. Here's the preview. This is a Strix class. Druid and Wizards have the same progression, as do Warlocks and Barbarians, 3, 6, 10, 14. So what this did is it created a full casting option that both Druids and Wizards would be able to use by taking stuff that Druids and Wizards both get and making them a thing. So the Wizard, the tradition, so there's the Circle of Nature's Ally, you're picking up basically Wizard stuff. And the Tradition of Nature's Ally for the Wizard is picking up Druid stuff, like Wild Shape. Starting at 2nd level, you get the fucking Wild Shape class feature. That's pretty cool. That's a really good green feature. But I don't want to give it to my green, but I do like durable summonings. That's what I came here for. At 6th level, you add the spell, well, it's now Summon Beast to your spell book and Summon Fae. This is a wizard spell for you. Furthermore, any single creature that you summon gains 5 temporary hit points for each level of spell cast. So let's go look at how this spell works. For each level, spell level above 2nd. For each spell level above 2nd. Yeah, I'll go with that. Okay. Concentration forever if you want it. Cool. Let's see. Wait, what else? Hold on. AC 11 plus the spell level. This is how we're going to resolve this equation. You always have the Summon Beast and Summon Fae spells prepared. Whenever you cast either spell, it gains the benefits of upcasting without expending additional mana. So, if I'm a 6th level green wizard and I cast this as a 2nd level spell, I have access to 3rd level. I'm going to have the stats listed here as the maximum spell level, even though I only spent 2 mana to cast it. Whenever you cast either spell, it gains the benefits of upcasting without expending additional mana to do so. So yours are always tanky for very little mana. That's a fucking great way to do that. Now I don't have to give you free mana. It's just you're getting free mana. It's the same thing. is concentration. So as long as you can maintain that concentration, you can keep them all day. So let's go back to the Illusionist to see what other super cool stuff is going on. When a creature hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to interpose an illusionary duplicate of yourself between the attacker and yourself. The attack automatically misses you, and then the illusion dissipates. Once you use this feature, and then illusory reality. Oh. When a creature hits you with an attack roll, you have there we go. Here, there. This is gonna be fun. We just figured out white. And it's the proper level too. When a creature hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to interpose to create a shield of interposing force energy. Between the attacker and yourself. The attack automatically misses you. Then the shield dissipates. Level 10 is when you gain the feature. That would typically mean it's going to be worth 3 mana. Thank you. Max speed, 3 mana. White mana. That's too expensive. If it's going to be white mana, it can at most be 2. If it's going to be 3 mana, it has to be any color. There you go. And we've just capped off level the White Wizard. And what are we going to call that? Interposing force. Nice. How tanky bastard. This guy's cool as shit, man. White Wizard gonna rock your house, man. Tradition of blue magic. We're getting pretty good with this guy. Oh, we were still working our way through illusion. Let's see what else the illusionist has to offer us. Illusory reality. You have learned to weave shadow magic into your illusions to give them a semi-reality. Whenever you cast an illusion spell with a spell slot, you can choose one inanimate, non-magical object that is part of the illusion and make that object real. For 1 minute, during which it can't deal damage or give any conditions. For example, you can create an illusion of a bridge over a chasm and then make it real and cross it. Thank you. Huh. Yeah, no, I don't see illusory reality fitting in anywhere, really. So I'm going to let that one go. Let's see. So, okay, great. So that means we are out of official features. What time is it? How am I doing? Because I'm collapsing a little bit more. I got 20 minutes. I'm going to go. And then if I'm able, I'll pick it up tomorrow at lunchtime. So let's. So we got white done. I'm really happy with that now. Really happy with this. Ward, projected ward, interposing force, spell resistance, solid. Blue Savant, Portent, with one of these results, you must choose to do so before the roll, and you must replace a roll in this way only once per turn. Each result can be used only once. Roll 6. Okay, so we're gonna go shopping for a 6th level blue feeling feature, and we're gonna go back out of the 2024 stuff, and we're gonna go collapse 24. We're gonna go back to 2014, and let's go down into the wizard and start yanking around all the subclass features that have been left behind that shan't have anything for years. And again, like we were talking about earlier, if they do, like, say, for example, we take something from Order of Scribes, and we end up doing something, and we end up taking something from that, and then Wizard ends up reprinting this, and the feature is still there. That just tells you, this is a very blue-like feature, and it probably is. So let's check out the Wizardly, the Scribe Wizard. Actually, we should probably start at the beginning, but Blade Singer, I'm going to skip past that for a second because I'm feeling this place. 6, Manifest Mind. You manifest forth the mind of your awakened spellbook. Nah. Okay, skip past that. What is Blade Singer doing? Training in War and Song. Blade Song. Extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. Moreover, you can cast one of your cantrips in place of one of those attacks. Do we want to give that to our red wizard? Does that feel like a red wizard sort of thing to do? Song of Defense. You can direct your magic to absorb damage while your Blade Song is active. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to expend one spell slot and reduce that damage to you by an amount equal to 5 times the spell slot's level. That's a neat defense power. You can add your intelligence modifier to the damage on your melee attacks when you use your Blade Song. The extra attack's kind of neat. Nah, not for you. Let's go past that. Let's look at, we did enchantment, blah blah blah, evocation, conjuration. We did not look at conjuration. Conjuration, I bet, has goodness for us. Benign transposition. That's a teleport effect. Focus concentration. Beginning at 10th level, while you're concentrating on a concentration spell, your concentration can't be broken as a result of taking damage. Wow! Starting at 14th level, any creature that you summon or create with a conjuration spell has 30 temporary hit points. That's durable summonings. We already got that one, but focus conjuration. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. What is that? That's focus. Fuck yeah, dude. I like that. Focus summoning. That's fucking gold. Come on, Turkey. My mouse is acting weird. Thank you. While you are concentrating... God, how do I want to word this? Oh, I'm just going to overwrite that altogether. Let's see. When you tap green mana to maintain concentration on a spell or effect that summons a creature, the green mana doesn't count towards your concentration DC. When you maintain concentration on summoned creatures, when you maintain concentration, when you are concentrating to maintain summoned creatures, when you maintain concentration to sustain summoned creatures. There we go. Green mana tapped to do so doesn't count towards your concentration DC. To a minimum of 10. So when you maintain concentration to sustain summoned creatures, green mana tapped to do so doesn't count towards your concentration DC to a minimum of DC 10. So we know that your concentration DC is equal to 10 plus the amount of mana that you have tapped. If you have 7 mana tapped to maintain concentration on a level 7 beast that you summoned, then you are going to have a DC of 17. With this feature, if like say 4 of that mana is green, your DC, your concentration DC instead of 17 is now only 13. If all 7 mana is green, your DC is 10, but you still are maintaining concentration, still stays 10. So there you go. And there's already no duration because it'll last for however long you can maintain concentration, which is where the attrition mechanics came from as shit tests to occasionally ding your characters to let them know how hostile the area is and how frequently they should expect to face threats. And hold on, I think it's raining like crazy. I want to go hear that real quick. God, I love the rain. Seattle is so beautiful. Such a beautiful world here. I love Seattle in the fall. It's the absolute best time of the year. Fall is my favorite season, and rain is my favorite weather. This is fantastic. So, focus summoning, that's freaking fantastic. Love that. I guess we're going green to summoner, right? We already have durable summonings all the way up at level 6, so a little slow on the draw there, buddy. But maybe there's something else juicy that'll come along. Already went through that, went through that, went through that. Let's go back through the earlier levels just to see. So in this school, you can use your action to conjure up inanimate objects. Nope. Benign transposition is a teleport thing. That doesn't fit anywhere. Nah, it doesn't. We already did divination. We did not look at enchantment, so there's potential here. Software's an enchanting gaze can magically enthrall another creature. As an action, choose one creature that you can see within 5 feet of you. If the target can see or hear you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Blah blah blah. Split enchantment? Huh, hold on. Okay, so we're looking for a capstone for green. That's honestly, that not having to maintain concentration, that focus summoning, that's probably a capstone feature right the fuck there. I don't know what I was thinking. That's a good capstone feature. That's sick. That is sick. The winner I used example of level 7 because, like, you know, Fateful. That's, oh god, that is a cool feature. Oh, God, that's strong. Without expending additional mana to do so. So you can cast Summon Beast at 2nd level and sustain it for 2 mana at no cost. So it's a DC 10, and it's going to act as, at this level, a level 7 upcast for only 2 mana. That's really, really strong summons. That's appropriate. And you can stack these things. You can have multiple of these brutes. Oh, summon Beast. And let's get Summon Fae. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm fine with you having multiple of these. These things are just, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm good with that. Oh, fuck, that's such a cool character. Absolutely, 100% yes. This is perfect. I don't need to close that. I'm 100% content with that decision. Split enchantment. When you cast an enchantment spell at 1st level or higher that targets only 1 creature, you can have it target a 2nd creature. Oh yeah? Approved. When you cast a spell by expending only red mana, when you cast an instantaneous spell by expending only red mana,
cast an instantaneous spell by expending only red mana that targets only one creature. You can have it target a second creature. When you cast a common magic spell by expending only red mana. You cast an instantaneous spell that targets only one creature by expending only red mana. You can have it target a second creature. Bam. Whenever. There. That's fucking great. So white is done and red is done. This is feeling so good. God, that feels so good. Alright, we're looking for a feature. We're looking for a 6th level feature for blue. We're looking for a whole lot of black. And we're looking for a 10th level green. 10 green, 6 blue, and black is all we have to build. Maybe I can get this done. Instinctive Charm. When a creature you see within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to divert the attack, provided that another creature is within the attack's range. The attacker must make a wisdom saving throw against your wizard spell save DC on a field save. The attacker must target the creature that is closest to it, not including you or itself. If multiple creatures are closest, the attacker chooses which one to attack. On a successful save, you can't use this feature on an attacker again. On a successful save, you can't use this feature on the attacker again until you finish the long rest. You must choose to use this feature before knowing whether the attack hits or misses. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. I could kind of get a black vibe off of that. Ultimate Memory is absolutely not. We already went through the School of Evocation. It was beautiful. Already went through the School of Evolution. It was wonderful. Ugh, for running out of schools. Yeah, okay, we already had some fun. Grim Harvest. At second level, when you have the ability to reap life energy from creatures you kill with your spell once per turn. When you kill one or more creatures with a spell of first level or higher, you regain hit points equal to twice the spells on Grim Harvest. Fuck yes. Once per turn, when you kill one or more creatures with a spell. There you go. When you kill a creature with a spell by expending black mana, you gain a number. You gain temporary hit points equal to the result of 1d6 times. Whenever you kill a creature with a spell by expending black mana. Whenever you kill a creature with a spell you cast. Whenever you kill a creature with a spell you cast, you gain 1d6
temporary hit points for each point of black mana expended. There. That's a really good feature. Undead Thralls. You cast Animate Dead. You can target one additional corpse or pile of bones, creating another zombie skeleton as appropriate. Huh. Is that a spell now? Fuck yes. Alright, well I think we know where this is going. You call forth an undead spirit manifested on unoccupied space. 3rd level. Yep. Is it chintzy to double down like this? Is that shallow of me to do that? Is Summon Demon, is that a spell? Maybe I should just like look at the spells. I need to learn the spells. I really do need to dive into the spells a little bit more. Get to know these guys. Summon. Some beast, some celestial, some construct, some dragon, some fae, some fiend. Occupied space, you can see with the range, you can see the spirit, that. Spell slot for a spell slot block. Whew, not bad. Okay. Alright, Summon Fiend. That's a good one. It's 6th level? Cool. Fiendish ally. You have a Summon Undead spell prepared. You always have these Summon Undead spell prepared. Whenever you cast and whenever you always have the undead spell prepared, and whenever you cast it, the undead gains the benefits of the upcasting without expending additional mana to do so. You can cast multiple versions of that at the same time. because you can stack the concentration on it. It's a 3rd level spell at level 17, at 9th level. You'd be able to have 3 of them at a time. It will cost you 3 black mana to do so. By expending only black mana. By expending only green mana. Fiendish Summon Fiend. You always have the Summon Fiend spell prepared, and you can cast Summon Fiend without expending mana. No, I'm going to change that. You can cast Summon Fiend as a perpetual spell. Nope, I had it right the first time. You always have the Summon Fiend spell prepared. And whenever you cast it by expending only black mana, it is a perpetual spell. Which means it's going to, if you want to keep that demon around forever, it will forever tie up that spell slot in that mana, or that level of spell in that mana. When you have high magic, you only can cast 1 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th level spell per day. If you can upcast it, good for you. Otherwise, 10th level, the only spell that's out there that's 10th level is Wish, which virtually all basically all the full casters get Wish in one narrative manner or another, just like the Cleric's Capstone feature is basically Wish. So we kind of screwed Cleric out of a feature. How to say? So the way a persistent spell. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not a perpetual spell. It's a persistent spell. A persistent spell has a duration that isn't concentration. It just sustains itself, and it typically has a duration of 24 hours. Or when you finish a long rest, depending on, if you're taking long rests, there you go. If you don't have to take a long rest, it's 24 hours. So when you finish a long rest, the spell ends. But if it's a persistent spell, instead of regaining the mana that's persisting, that the spell was cast with, like say we cast Summon Fiend, a 6th level spell, right? I cast it with all black mana. It is now a persistent spell. So I spent that 6 mana. When I finish my long rest, I can choose to not regain that 6 mana, and my demon will remain present. So I can have an eternal companion as long as I keep exhausting that 6 points. I can cast the 6th level spell again if I expend it, but if I'm concentrating. It's tied up. Sorry, that's not true. I can't recast it because that space, that 6th level spell is still active. It's occupying that space. So you can't, if you finish a long rest and then somebody somehow dispels them or something like that, it's going to be gone for the rest of the day because you already had your 6th level spell expended for the day. You just automatically renewed it when you woke up. But you still have like 7th, 8th, 9th, and 19th level, your 10th level spells. So you get 5 high magic spells over the course of your character's life. I know the player's handbook gives you 6, but seriously, you can afford to scale back. And you can. These are all optional mechanics, so if you want to override me, you can, but I'm right. It's better for balance this way. It just is. So, I mean, you can test it for a few years and tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I'm pretty confident at this point that that's true. So White Wizard's done. Blue Wizard's still missing a piece. Still missing a piece for Black. Red is done. We're missing a 10 for green, a 10 for black, a 6 for blue. So let's give. God, this is so much fucking fun. I love these things, man. Inured to undeath. Resistance and necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum can't be reduced. Oh, I like that. Okay. You have spent so much time dealing with undead and the forces that animate them that you have become inured to some of the worst effects. Well, I think we just resolved you. This was easy. You have wielded black magic. Your command, your control of black magic grants you your control of black magic inoculates you from the baleful effects of from its baleful effects. You have resistance to necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum can't be reduced. Can't be reduced, and you can ignore, and as a concentration effect, you can ignore one exhaustion level for each point
of mana you each point of black mana you tap. Up to 6. Oh shit! Up to 5. Nice. Cause it's level 10 and your character can only get up to 5th level at level 10. So you're immune to exhaustion until you literally just fall over dead. That's fucking perfect. I love that. You can just oh, that's so good. Oh man, I like that. That's very nice. Up to 5. One more and you'd be immortal. Just that's where you get that lichdom from. That's the flavor. That's the ludonarrative. That's the mechanic that gets all these goddamn black necromancers into wanting to become a lich. Because they can taste what it feels like to have their power replace their human frailty. They can go for it in, like, up to almost a whole week of just ignoring the effects of having to sleep while they research and study. Oh my god. That is so fucking cool. Are you kidding me? They're like, how do I make this permanent so I don't ever have to worry about this? And that's how they become liches. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, wow, wow, wow. What a victory. What a frickin' victory. That's hardcore. Yeah, no, I am super content with this. That was hardcore. Holy Hannah, so cool. Okay, so we're looking. So 5th is done. Red is done. Black is done. We're looking for 6 on blue and 10 on green. Right? These are just such better versions of the classes than what I'd come up with back in 2017. I am just stoked and thrilled here. Transmutation Savant, fine. Minor Alchemy, starting at the stone, you can temporarily alter the physical properties of one non-magical object. Nah, that doesn't feel right. Transmuter Stone. Each time you cast a transmutation stone at first level or higher, you can change the effect. If the stone is on your person, if you create a new transmuter stone, that's cool. Does it have anything to do with green or blue? It's a 6th level. Could I make this? Shape changer. Yeah. 10th level, you added polymorph spell to your book. You can cast polymorph spell without expanding spell slot. When you do so, you can target only yourself and transform into a beast when you change channels in the blower. Okay, cool. Let's go with yeah, shape changer is the way to be, man. And the other thing that we found here. Wait, what did just happen? Polymorph. I don't want the legacy version of this. We'll have to go back to it. Polymorph. It's so obvious. Polymorph spell. You always. All right. We're We're gonna be good. That's not even done in 20 minutes, so we're just about done. You always have the polymorph spell. Whenever you cast it by expending only green mana, because polymorph is a green spell. The duration is perpetual, is persistent. Until you decide to end the effect, you can expend an additional. Hold on, let's go find polymorph. There you go. Polymorph 2024. Fourth level, concentration. You attempt to transform a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. To be condition, that form can be any beast you choose that has a challenge rating equal to or less than the target's or the target level if it doesn't have a challenge rating. The target's game statistics are replaced by the stat block of the chosen beast, but the target retains its alignment, personality, creature type, hit points, and hit dice. The target gains a number of temporary hit points equal to the hit points of the beast form. The spell ends early on the target if it has no temporary hit points left. The target is limited to the actions it can perform by the anatomy of its new form, and it can't speak or cast spells. The target gear melds into the new form. The target can't use or otherwise benefit from any other equipment. Four. Okay. You always have the polymorph spell prepared, and whenever you cast it by expending only green mana, the duration is persistent until you decide to end the effect. You can expend an additional 4 green mana as a magic action to change forms. Change to a new form without ending the spell. To recast it, even if your current form would normally not be able to do so. There. That takes care of Shape Changer. It's a concentration effect normally. And when you always have the polymorph spell, and whenever you cast it, whenever you cast it on yourself, by expending only green mana, the duration is persistent until you decide to end the effect. You can expend an additional 4 green. This would allow you to turn into a squid and stay at the bottom of the ocean forever, assuming that no one ever had to spell magic on you. All right, and then there was one. Blue 6. And I think we already have it. I think we just get to rework Transmuter Stone and add the portent thing. Let's take a look at this. And let's go back to portent. Great art in this book. Freaking great art. third eye. Let's go steal some white language because we're making a different type of aura. Get out of here. I know. We're borrowing features from each other. It doesn't sound very imaginative, does it? But let's okay. I can accept that. Let's take a breath for a second here. Before I just duplicate. Well, I already duplicated blue. I already duplicated black and green. It only makes sense that I would duplicate stuff with white and blue, right? Carry on. Let's see. Enchantment aura. How about that for a simple Magic the Gathering term? When you expend blue mana to cast a spell, you can simultaneously use a strand of the blue magic to create a magical aura on yourself that lasts until you finish a long rest. Period. Next. And now we switch over to the stone language. Dark Vision 120, read any language. See, invisibility spell, dark vision, and nah, that's good. Let's go with those things. Awareness. You can simultaneously use a strand of, let's see, when you expend blue mana to cast a spell, the magical energy suffuses you with awareness and understanding. deeper awareness and understanding that lasts until you finish a long rest. Choose one of the following benefits. Dark vision, period space, Bob. And you can cast identify spell as a magic action without expending mana. There needs to be a third cool thing. What is the third cool thing? Oh, hidden knowledge, period, space. You gain expertise in any skill or one skill you aren't. There. You can, whenever you expend blue mana to cast another spell, you can change you can choose a new option. You can choose a new option. Period. That will for fucking ever be useful. You gain expertise in 2 skills you're proficient in, or one you aren't. You're proficient with, and 2 skills you're proficient with, or 1 skill you aren't. There, period. Perfect. Hey, we did it. That's all of them. And honestly, I think this is a lot better than the original designs that we had in 2017. I know that I've grown considerably as a designer in these years past, and I think I just think 2024, it just feels easier to design with somehow. It's just, there's so many different ways that they pull on things now, and then the way that make use of resources, it just lets you mess around with stuff more and just come up with clever ideas. I love it. Anyway, that's our time today, and if God's grace, I feel up to it, I will paint tomorrow morning and be back at lunch tomorrow to I guess get into. I guess we're revisiting the Warlock. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. We worked our way to the end of Wizard. We got all the subclasses done. Now we can move back forward. So, cheers, guys. I'll see you when I get to. Bye.